Hello everybody, welcome back to playing the game of League of Legends. I'm the Strategy Professor, doing a little Lulu action here again. Had a bit of a scuffle early on. I forgot to record. I hurt Varus a lot. They hurt Ashe a lot. Varus has Flash. Ashe doesn't. Neither. Leona doesn't have Ignite, and I don't have Exhaust. You gotta be careful. Leona's very good with ganks. I think Amumu's not topside. I think okay. Varus did get the assist, so it's not amazing for us. Okay, I've got to push. It's pushing in. If she were to run a little bit closer to me, if I got one more shield on her, we would have been able to turn it. Ooh, how's bad? Okay. Alright, I had to push it, because it was already pushing in, which sucks, because that's going to put Ashe behind on experience. But they could have frozen it there, which would have been really bad, so... What's the T-word? Trilogy trauma? Well, try to stay off of politics. I know that's what every, like, media thing covers as much as possible. Like, in America these days, everything is politics. There is a time and a place for political discussion, but it's also extremely divisive. Like, I can't remember a time in my lifetime where people have, in different political parties, have hated each other as much as they do now. Which is sad, really. But, anyways, yeah, so don't talk too much about any particular political figures. If you can. I mean, I just don't want to stir stuff up. We already get enough of that, you know, for the rest of the day. What's up, Broseph? Oh, nice. Water Drake's actually really good. We gotta be careful for their all-in. I'm level 6. But they do way more damage than Ashe does early on. Now, if Vi shows up, Ashe is pretty good with Vi. Maybe she picked Ashe because of the Vi. I don't know. Crap. Does Cho not have TP? Well, that was really bad. Cho just elected not to show up with his teleport. He had it. Oh well. Oh, we got counter ganked hard there. Hey, don't rep your channel here, please. No, Leona's not OP. She's just very good. She's a win more champion. If you're already in an advantageous situation, she helps you win more. But she's really awful when you're behind. Or if it's a bad situation. I mean, she picked a pretty good matchup. Like, Leona's good into Lulu, for the most part. Early enough, at least through the mid-game. But, I mean, Leona into Ashe with Varus is a really good combo. Like, Ashe, it's not that Leona's really good, it's just that Ashe is really bad. Like, Kleenex is a good player, but he's playing a bad champion. Like, if he would have picked something like Sivir, just anything. There are like 20 different champions he could have picked that would have been better than Ashe here. I don't know, like I said, he might be going for the angle of, like, you know, Ashe to go with by engage or something like that, but I just think Sivir would have been way better. I just don't think Ashe is good in solo queue. Like, she's alright in pro play, but she's not amazing in solo queue. Like, it's not that, like, we can win, you know. It's just, like, I've talked about the problems with Ashe before on stream. Like, she does have a very powerful engage, but she trades too much for that, I think. It's like, Ashe is good in metas where AD carries aren't good. Right? So she's good when you just need that engage from the AD carry slot. Because she doesn't scale particularly well with Critical Strike, I believe. I'd have to look, but I don't think she gets extra damage. I think she gets extra slow off of Critical Strikes. And so that hurts her scaling a lot. And the nerf to people had been going Blazer and King into Hurricane, but that was nerfed quite a bit also. So she used to be pretty good with, like, Hurricane, Blazer and King, like Black Cleaver. There were a bunch of things that were pretty useful. She's gone. Damn it, I should have just flashed earlier. I was just being way too cute with that. They saved everything and got me. I should have just flashed earlier and left her to die. I need boots, like, now. Probably just going to go for Ionians here. Cooldown is extremely important for Lulu. So yeah, that was really bad. We should have just left. I should have left her to die. I should have probably W'd to maybe let her run and juke the Leona. So Ashe is basically a low to, like, almost literally no escapes. A no escape AD carry that doesn't outscale the other no escape AD carries. In exchange, she gets the arrow for engage, and she gets hawk shot so that you can count jungle camps and try to figure out when they're going to spawn, and you can plan and organize with your team to invade and challenge different camps and predict their routes for ganks and stuff like that. Does that sound like solo queue stuff? No, because it's not. You know, one of her big strengths is hawk shot. For, like, super intelligent, highly organized teams to know where the jungler is and which camps they're going to be doing. Because they have all the routes memorized that they're going to be doing them. So that's why you see her in pro play a lot, and that's why, perennially, she's just not that great in solo queue most of the time. They're just going to keep sitting on her. Crap. I don't know why she went back in. I guess she did get a kill off of it, but we just should have not been there. I mean, Kleenex is a good AD carry. And he's 0-4. And it's because Ashe is a bad champion. No, don't. You missed your cue, buddy. That's it. Play's over. This is a moo-moo, man. Where is that US top lane? Yeah, they're catching up here. Well, there are other champions that also complement hard CC champions, such as Sivir. Like, you can Sivir rush to get Vi and range to ult. Like, Sivir is such a better combo right now if you want a utility support that also does, like, respectable damage. Sivir's just so much better with the crowd control crew. Because you can run them in to get onto the back line with Maokai and Cho'Gath and Sejuani. Sivir's just way, way better than Ashe is, I think, for solo queue. Because she actually does damage, and she has far better wave clear and escapes. Sivir just does everything that Ashe wants to do way better than Ashe does it. Right now. I've got to go up here. I have to stay down there because Ashe can't 1v1 Singed, I don't think. There we go. Okay, we got 2 waters. That's not bad. Like I said, Lulu is going to give her scaling. That's why I picked Lulu, so that we could scale. We could kind of make up for some of that, the Ashe's anemic damage. Lux should be able to hold middle. Maybe not. I forgot they had that. Well, I needed to buy. I had like 3,000 gold. Whoa, did she just use that on the Rift? What? Okay, we got his ghost. No, 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 dude, dude, dude. Alright. I guess that worked out. I don't know, man. Lux is confused about the champion she's playing. I probably shouldn't even try to put her, put the W on her. Like, I'm trying to give her the W so she can walk in and land her skill shots easier, but she just keeps, like, running in to suicide. Yeah, and we just didn't have a chance to get Rift. I think they got a kill and they had, like, 3 people top, and we got bot tower and dragon for it. But yeah, I agree in general. It's a good, it's definitely a good buff. Oh, that makes me sad. Dang it, all these water drakes. Okay, that's good. Good arrow. I mean, Ashe is fun to play. If you land a lot of arrows, she can be good. It's just there's a lot of risk. There is a lot of risk with Ashe. I mean, she is still an 80 carry. She can still auto attack and buy damage items, you know. It's just like when I think of, you always got to think of like what are the other options, right? Because champions don't just exist in a vacuum. They exist sort of a matrix of choices. Oh, don't throw that. Let Lux get a hit first. Come on, man. Now they know she's there. Lux? You kind of let Leona go into melee with you there. Oh, Jesus. Oh my god, dude. What? What? He still had that? Wow. Hold on, what's the cooldown on his Q? 2 seconds? Wow. Dang, that was really bad. I'm not even sure what we did wrong there. We got split up. Ashe, like, ran, like, up here or something, and then everyone else was down here. If we just reformed down here, we would have been fine. Cho had his TP. We could have 5v5'd him, but we got split up, and that was the problem. No, Amumu is not OP. He has a nice stat line this game, but... yeah, I don't know. I guess he's leveling his Q second over his E. I guess that's fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to get on him. I know you get the tiers first, but he's a really high level. Yeah, I really hope CleanX, like, just does not ever play Ashe again after this game. Like, come on, man. He's such a good ADC. It's just, it's such a waste. He's a good ADC player. It's just... I've said everything there is to say about it. I've explained it. And I don't know what his reasoning is for that pick. Why am I even going into that? Cho'Gath's just basically suiciding. She has the same items as Varus. Varus is just a better champion, and Varus is not very good right now. But he's better than Ashe is. Oh, nice. Okay, there we go. Now we're on the board. That's what we needed. What happens when love takes over? Dude, I don't know what that even means. Varus is not great because he has similar problems to Ashe. He's very reliant on his skill shots. His ult's pretty hard to hit. Like, the Bork Hurricane is not a great itemization path right now compared to the Infinity Edge Static Shiv, Rapid Fire Cannon build, the Energizer build. He's immobile, he has no escapes. I know he gets played in pro play sometimes, but once again, Ashe gets played also in pro play. They both sacrifice quite a bit of damage in exchange for having a lot of utility. And they're both, you know, Bork Hurricane champions, and all of that's been nerfed. Like, they're okay at 2 items, but I think they get outscaled at 3. And the reason that those champions get picked in pro play is because Caitlyn's been nerfed into the dirt. For now, she's like, okay. She's a Shadow Reform herself, and then in most pro games, Callista and Tristana are both banned. And that's when they pick these other 80 carries, because those 3 have been taken out, basically. They've been taken out of contention. Dude, they're coming, Ashe. Oh, they're all trying to come up here, huh? What the hell? They both used all their stuff and we can't kill them? Go, go, go! I think he could have had him. For real. Do we have a team? Like, where's our team? Team, please. Like, legit, they're chasing me through the base. And they're not paying anything for it. How did Ashe die again? Like, literally everybody's top. Did she die to minions? I don't know. Poor Kleenex, man. Like, literally, who wasn't top? Singed? I guess maybe a Mumu 1v Wonder? Well, we can still win. It's not impossible. We're still in it. It's just... we don't have scaling. Like, we don't have a lot of stuff that would be nice to have. Well, I don't want to tell him what to play. I mean, he knows. He's probably just trying it out. Like, he knows he's having a bad game, and I think in his heart he knows that Ashe is not a great champion right now. But I don't know why he picked it. Maybe he thinks it's a counter pick to Varus. I really think he should just stick with Twitch, Xayah, Sivir. And if he likes Draven, he could do Draven too. But... wait, where are they? Oh, they're at Dragon. Okay. Well. It's like... there's just so many things that Ashe can get caught by. Dude, Vi, are you kidding? Like, we just got out. Just run. It's 4v5. Dude, she's... oh, God, Kalina... oh, we're so lucky she was not there. No, how is she... how did she run that fast? I guess her ball. Damn it. I wasted my flash. Ugh. It's gross. Nice, congrats, Rennie. That's awesome. My AP ratios aren't... whatever. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll do it. My AP ratios aren't amazing on Lulu, but... she may have healed to run away, too. He really needs a QSS, man. I mean, he also needs to be able to kill a Mumu. That's the problem, is they have so much crowd control, and they have a Mumu and Singe. They're both problematic. And he needs lifesteal. I mean, my Ardent Censer does give him some lifesteal, but... Is that it? We might just be able to win off of this. Woo! Lulu pumps people up, man. Superman style. Those buffs. That movement speed off of the thing helped her dodge Leona's stuff. Dude, she was dead, wasn't she? Maybe she was AFK, I don't know. Okay. Like I said, I love Kleenex. Kleenex is my boy. I played a garbage Rakan game earlier. It happens to everybody. But I think a lot of it was the pick. I think he was doing the best that he could. I just don't think that Ashe is great right now, but it's fine. It's whatever. We got the win. I'm cool with it. Yeah, I mean, that last fight, I guess Ori wasn't there. She AFK'd or something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, pretty much I had full CDR and I just pumped up Ashe. You know, I just put Whimsy on her and picks, and then she was just flying around beating everybody up. And then I just used, you know, Ultimate Redemption on Shogath, whom they were focusing out for some reason. Exhausted Amumu when he went in, and yeah, just crushed him. Yay, back to Platinum 1. We're back. Oh, and we did get to 174 at one point, too. That's awesome. Not bad for 3 or 4 in the morning. I mean, yeah, you could go Zeke's. The problem is, like, with Lulu's ultimate, though, I mean, you can use it proactively. The thing is, I don't like Zeke's that much on reactive ultimates like Janna, and, like, Lulu's ultimate doesn't hold people in place. Like, they can disengage, potentially, with the Zeke's. But, yeah, I mean, Zeke's would have probably been okay as a final item there. I was going to get Mikhail's, because, obviously, Amumu and his ult were problematic, and Leona. But yeah, like in theory, maybe as a final item. I do like rushing the Ardent Sensor, obviously, but then Athene's Unholy Grail. I think that's something that I really overlooked. How much that could help Lulu is the nerfing of Redemption when they nerfed Redemption and Locket. Because it made Ardent Sensor a lot better, which has always been a good item on Lulu. It's just that Redemption hasn't been as good, because she doesn't benefit as much from plus healing and shielding. And so, like, not being able to get Athene's, which gives her a heal on her abilities, because she does quite a bit of damage in fights if you just hit people with Qs and auto attacks, and you can do a decent amount of damage to get those blood charges in fights. So I think the ability to go Ardent into Athene's is pretty strong on Lulu, and the fact that she has been Janna's banned all the time, who's like one of her arch nemesis, because Janna scales really hard with her, and then Sona is really good too. People don't pick Sona a lot, but Sona is also pretty good. So yeah, I think that some of these itemization changes have definitely helped her to some extent. Obviously, she's not as much of the early game harassment powerhouse as she used to be if the enemy starts getting Door and Shield. Although a lot of people don't get Door and Shield into Lulu. I mean, yeah, if you're talking about why would you ever build Mikhail's with Athene's, all that you lose off of the Athene's is the extra like health regen that you get, which is okay, but it's not like game breaking, because you usually get that really late into the game when that health regeneration is not going to matter that much. I have switched back. I mean, a big part of my climb lately has been I have switched back to rushing Sightstone first before Ardent. The Ardent does have a time and a place, but I just think vision is too important. I did experiment with going straight for Ardent Sensor for a couple of weeks now, and it's okay sometimes, but I think more times than not, I'd rather just have the wards early and then get the Ardent Sensor, a couple of minutes later. His wards are just so crucial, obviously, for protecting objectives and just finding out where the enemy jungler is, all that good stuff. So wards are crucial. But obviously I do like Ardent, but I'm not as much of a fan of the rush Ardent before Sightstone anymore. But I mean, there are benefits to both. But overall, I think that having that vision 8 to 10 minutes earlier is more important than having Ardent Sensor like 2 minutes earlier. Because you're delaying an 800 gold item so that you can go buy a 2300 gold item. So you could get the 8-minute or the 800 gold item much, much faster. And then just delay the 2300 gold item by a little bit more. Yeah, so we were running pretty hot lately. Starting last night and then working our way into today. Yeah, we've been, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7-1. So that's pretty good. Making a comeback with Lulu. I do think this new build is a big part of it. Yeah, go coin on everybody. Almost literally coin on everybody. Unless it's a tank that needs that sustain in lane from the Relic Shield, I would just go coin. Yeah, they're not going to do multiple maps. It's just too hard to balance. I don't know. I'm fine with the one map. Well, I don't think we'll probably get D5 tomorrow, but maybe. Who knows? Well, actually, we definitely won't tomorrow because it's Members Night. But hopefully we can get it within the next week or two. Okay, nice, Dylan. I look forward to that. Yeah, Lulu, I think, has been the surprise pick that I've just sort of been trying out again over the last couple of days. And obviously, she's done very well for me. And I think that a big part of that is that build I was talking about, the Ardent Sensor into Athene's early on, and some of the meta shifts that have been going on. So Sona's been really hot for me all week, running 14 and 5 on her, and then Lulu has been doing pretty well recently. Rakan's been falling off a little bit lately. I do like Rakan a lot, and he is still obviously good, but I think, I don't know. I need to make him a specialty pick now, because the Morgana just counters him too hard. There's not really any, like, here's the thing. Here's why Sona and Lulu are really good, and Janna. Janna's banned a lot. But there are not good counters to those champions. Not really. If the game goes long, they're going to take over. Because of, like, their kit. Sona, because she just buffs her entire team so much, and Lulu because, if you have a Fed Assassin, she can shut that down, but she can also crank up... She can also crank up the power on her AD carry tremendously with her W and her picks. And then Janna, because she can protect and just make sure that no one on your team dies, and she scales everybody really hard with the shield. But she's banned like basically every game. So yeah, I think these are probably the two tickets here for now to leveling up. As far as I can see, Morgana is good into certain matchups, but I just feel like she doesn't scale as well with Ardent Sensor as some other choices out there. The same thing with Nami. Like, Nami can be good in the right circumstances as a babysitter bot lane, but And I do like Brand as a morgue counter, but there are other situations where I don't like him as much. But I do think Brand, if you need an AP support, Brand can be okay. Yeah, I mean, how much damage does Pix? Pix, it scales with AP. I'm so tired right now. That's it for the stream. If you want to hang out and just ask me some questions or just chat for a little bit, that's fine. But I don't want people waiting and, being upset because there's not any more games. Because we played more than I typically do, I think. Yeah, well, that's about as much as I want to do. It's about 5 hours. I've had like hour and a half of sleep in the last like 30 something hours, so I need to cash it in. What was I even doing? Oh, Lulu. It's only 15% bonus AP, but you'll get to 200 a lot of times with the Athene's build. So if you rush Ardent Sensor plus Athene's, that's an extra 150 magic, which would be, that's 30. So that means that your Athene's will have 60 AP. So that's 60 plus 60 is 120. And then you have like 25 on your runes. So you'll have like 150 AP, I guess, at 2 items. Give or take. About 150. So this would give you, you probably get those 2 items by probably at least level 11. So that'd be 75 and then what, 22? So yeah, your picks would be doing like 97 damage per hit. So that's 97 extra on-hit damage. And then your Ardent Sensor is going to do an extra 25. So you're giving your AD carry an extra, 117 or so on-hit damage. In addition to 45% extra attack speed plus 25% extra attack speed off of Ardent Sensors, that's 70% attack speed. So you're giving them 70% attack speed, 37% move speed, and like 115 or so on-hit damage at 2-item Lulu. And you can just boost them up for an extra, level 11, an extra 525 health. And your shield will be for like 90. Your shield will be for 300. It's not bad, not bad. Let me see here. That's true. Well, yeah, that can definitely be a thing. Girl Fiery. So yeah, Underwatch. First day was okay. There's a couple of mess ups. The university, like, my teacher station wasn't working in one room, and apparently they switched the rooms we were supposed to be in at the last minute. Supposedly, these students said that, and there were like 4 of them, so I believe them. But they switched the room like today, this morning, apparently, that we were supposed to be in, and so these students went to the wrong room in a different building. It wasn't too far across campus, but it was probably like a good 5 to 10 minute walk, depending on how fast they walk. So they sat in that room for a while, came over, tried to go to the room that I was currently in, but the teacher station wasn't working, and so I moved rooms to another room in the same building, and they couldn't find me. So there were 4 students just kind of wandering around the halls lost. So we'll have to figure that out on Wednesday. Hopefully that's better, but I thought that was pretty good. A lot of the students are pretty cool. There were a couple of students who just got up and walked out of class in the first class. I've never had that happen, so I don't know like what What's up with that? I guess they just were gonna drop. Um, so that was interesting. Um, and there was all kinds of weird stuff. Like in the other room, also, like one of these tenured professors I recognized, like was walking with her class down the hall to go somewhere else because there something in there wasn't working either. Other than that, it was fine. I mean, a lot of the students in both classes, there were a couple. It's both classes are shy, which is interesting. I mean, they're kind of tired too because they are later in the day. My classes are from like basically 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and they're just kind of tired probably. Like a lot of them weren't really laughing at some of my jokes that I tell on the first day sometimes, and they weren't like super responsive to stuff. But they weren't like mean mugging either. I think they were just tired and kind of out of it. They're just like, like whatever. Kind of like how I look right now. So it's fine. I'm sure they're a good group of students. The one class though only had like 15 students or 14, something like that, that showed up out of 23. But it's because four of them were like lost, so they'll presumably be there on Wednesday. Hopefully they don't give me some like terrible reviews at the end. I mean, I'm going to excuse the absence obviously and give them credit for all the work that we did in class. And I designed the class on the first day to be pretty light because students are still allowed to add the class without even without my like permission or whatever through Wednesday. They can sign up for it online as long as there's seats available. So, I try not to make it too crazy on the first couple of days. We just kind of review some stuff they should have known in a previous English class. Well, it shouldn't be that small. Like, it should be 23 students. I mean, that's the maximum in most like undergraduate English type of classes. The other one has 23, and usually I force add up to 25. I take as many students. They tell us not to do more than like one, but anyone who asks me, I've never turned down someone who asked to force add. Never turned them down. I always take them. And the director doesn't like that very much, I don't think, but whatever. I take them all in. Um, but anyways, as long as there are seats. If there aren't seats, then, that's a problem. Or if it's against fire code or something. But yeah, I mean, in the sciences and some of this social sciences and things like that, there can be classes of, 40, 50 people. I did teach a class once, a survey lit class, where there was like 37 students, I think, something like that. And the capacity was 45. Maybe there were 45. I can't remember. So I have taught a bigger class before, which I don't like as much. It's okay, but I like doing like group work, and it's really hard to get group work going with that many people. So it's all right. I remember my biology 101 class when I was an undergrad had 625 students in it. We were like in an auditorium. And I just remember every day there were probably like maybe 150 people in there tops. It was like 3/4 of the class just skipped it every single day. And sometimes he would give like pop quizzes and bonus points for people who were there who signed roll. Stuff like that. I just remember thinking, I'm like, why can't people just show up to class? This class is so easy. He never calls on anybody. He just reads off the lecture. Like, you just show up and take notes, and that's it. And I just showed up and took notes, and I never read the textbook. And I got an A in the class because I just took notes. I don't know. There's a psychology class, a Psych 110 class, where there's like 60 people in there, and I never even bought the book. I just straight up went to class and took notes and got an A in the class. Because he said he was going to cover everything but like 10 or 15% on the exam, and I was like, I think I can probably figure it out. And I'm pretty good at psychology, I think. Just some of the theories and things like that is very interesting to me, and it makes sense. The biology was just strictly, he just told you everything that was going to be on the test, basically. Like, he didn't say this is on the test, but if you just took notes, he talked about everything that he mentioned. So I would just like review my notes for maybe 2 or 3 hours the day before the test. It was good enough. So I never really understood not going to class. My senior year, there was one class that I didn't go to very often because they never took attendance, and I don't know. It was just it wasn't that interesting, and I was just really tired. I don't remember what it was. I think I was playing a lot of World of Warcraft at the time. I don't remember. But that was like the only class that I missed. It was very early in the morning, and I just didn't care. I think I ended up getting an A in the class. It might have been a B plus or an A. Like I literally just they gave us a study guide, and I literally just looked it all up on Wikipedia the night before. I was like, okay, here's all the stuff I need to know. I'm just going to cram Wikipedia this bad boy. Then I went in and took the final and got like a really high A on it. I was like, this is sad. But anyway, study habits from the professor, right? Setting a great example for all the kids out there. I mean, there is a point by senior year where you're just kind of when you're still having to take some distribution requirements, and I didn't even want to be in that class. I wanted to take Asian studies, and this is like Western Civ. I wanted to take Asian history, and we showed up to class and waited like the entire hour. There were like 50 people, and then it turns out they had canceled the class, and they never told anybody. And so we were all just sitting around waiting. We're like, oh, cool. So I had to scramble to find a class, and it was this like really early 8 a.m. class, and there's a teacher that I couldn't really understand that well, and she just wasn't that engaging. I don't know, and I just had some motivation problems at that point. I was just kind of whatever. So it wasn't my finest academic moment, but every other class I showed up to basically every class. Like I would say my attendance rate throughout all of college in my classes combined was probably like 95% or higher. It was just that one class. Netflix is, or not Netflix, Wikipedia is very helpful. I always tell my students to use it just as supplement. Like it's not a good final destination for research, but it's a good place to learn like general basic information about things. It's a very good resource. It's just not good for very specific research. Yeah, that's exactly right, Counterfeit. And that's what I tell my students when we start doing research. I'm like, guys, the place to start is not in these online journals, like searching these databases like JSTOR. It's to start on Amazon. It's to start on Wikipedia. Because when you go to Amazon, you can search for topics, you'll find books, and then you can see people who read this also read this. And it gives you like these related searches just so you get some names. And you can do a preview of the books. You can read the table of contents. You can read the bibliography. You can read the intro chapters. You can get a feel for like what the book's going to be about and what other people who read it, what else did they read? What do they think about it? How do they rate it? So there's a lot of great information there. Whereas when you do a search engine like JSTOR, you just type it in and you're going to get like 50,000 results. And a lot of them are going to be super, super specific. And so I always tell my students, I'm like, just start with Amazon, start with Wikipedia. Don't make that your final destination, but use those two as a way to learn a little bit about your subject. Find some key words, some key authors, some key scholars, some key context around your topic. Like it just helps you sort of get a basic idea and get you the names of some books that you can order from the library. You don't buy them off Amazon. I guess you could, but usually they're very expensive academic books. But you can order them through the library, interlibrary exchange program if the library doesn't have it. So that's how a true baller does it. And no one ever told me that when I was an undergrad. It was always, no one told you how to research at all when I was an undergrad. It was pretty much like, hey, there's the library, good luck, you know? And the library can be intimidating. There's like just like millions of books. The University of Tennessee is like a 7-story library. It's got a really nice library. And if you don't know like what you're looking for, it can be frustrating. Although if you do find a couple of books on Amazon and they're on the shelves, libraries are organized by subject. And so if you go into the library and you find one book, usually you can look around on the shelf and you'll find like a dozen books about the same topic. And you'd be like, sweet, you just pull them off the shelf, look at the table of contents. Is it cool? Yeah, it looks good. Okay, I'll take that. Looks good, take that. Nah, it sucks. No, that sucks. Looks good. Okay, take that. I mean, I've gone up there with students into the library after I help them find some books on Amazon. We go up, we get them in the library, and I've done the whole thing in like 30 minutes, and they walk out of there with like 7 books. It's great. And you don't, here's the secret too, you don't have to actually read all of the books. Academic books are designed to be like buffets. They usually have topical chapters, and the authors understand that most people are not going to read the entire thing. Like some academic books are designed to be read front to back, but a lot of them are topical. Some of them are just outright like edited collections. And so you don't have to read the whole thing. You know, in my class, I let students, if they read a chapter out of a book, I count that as a source, because if I'm going to count an article, a critical article as a source, then I've got to count a chapter out of a book. It's the same amount of pages a lot of times. So I tell them, you just read a chapter and I'll count it as a source. You don't have to read the whole thing. Although a lot of them will read multiple chapters. So I think that research is taught in it not well at all in a lot of academic settings, and I try to make that a focal point in my classes. Yeah, splitting the cost of books is another really awesome way to do it. Like sometimes, obviously, if you're in the sciences, it's a different kind of game. Yeah, exactly. Counterfeit. Like those resources are there. Like you can go ask a librarian, they'll hook you up, but they're not going to point you to Amazon and Wikipedia and stuff like that. Like they're going to talk about different kinds of research methodologies and things. You know, they'll give you a good way to do it, but they won't give you the real way to do it, the true gangster way to do it. Britannica. That was even before my time. I never wrote a serious research paper before the internet was really online. It certainly wasn't what it is today. I mean, I was an undergrad from 2003 to 2007, but hey, thanks, Bolt. Yeah, Girl Fury. She's got all the tips. Undercutting the bookstore, sharing books with friends. You can get them online. You can get them. There's something used to be like called half.com where you could get cheap books. It is. People are scared of the library. Like they don't know what to do. I remember. Hey, thanks, Mike. Um, I remember there's this one girl. She was very smart in my class. Like she wanted to write about, I think it was Gabriel Marquez's Hundred Years of Solitude and Magical Realism, and she wasn't sure what to do or where to go. And she, I could tell from her writing she was very smart. She volunteered in class a lot of times. I talked to her there after class a little bit. I'm like, really? You're doing an essay on Marquez? And she's like, yeah, we read this in high school. I was like, which high school did you go to? It's like a 700 or 800 page novel, 100 Years of Solitude. I read it during my dark years. They weren't really dark years, but between undergrad and grad school, I just kind of hung out and worked in a restaurant for 3 years. I wanted to be a fiction writer. I sucked at writing, so I switched over and did literature. Um, I was okay. I just don't have the discipline to. It takes a lot of discipline to be a writer and to actually sit down and do it every day. Um, but anyways, so I was like, okay, well, I can help you out. So I went to the library and walked around, helped her find a bunch of books. She's like, okay, cool, thank you so much. I'm like, all right, you good to go? She's like, yeah. And so then I saw her the next day, and she told me she walked out of the library with the books and set off the alarms because she didn't realize you had to check out the books at the front counter. She thought you could just walk out and bring them back whenever or whatever, something like that. I was like, what? And this was an honors student from like a pretty, I think it was a private school. I don't remember, but a really nice school where they're reading like Marquez, like 700-800 page novels. I don't know. Maybe that's the norm these days. I don't remember anyone doing that when I was in high school. The most I read Grapes of Wrath, and that was 500 pages, and I thought that was really huge. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, some students, they can be very smart, but they just are very scared of the library and they don't know what to do in the library. They're like, a book? What is a book? You got to remember, like, nobody reads books hard. Like, there are very few people that read books, and if they do read books, a lot of times it's just stuff that they just, like popular books or whatever. They just order off Amazon. They don't go to libraries and check them out, and they're not usually reading like really scholarly books, so they don't know how to read those types of books because it's very different, reading Judith Butler's like, performative theory and whatever book that she's written. I can't remember any titles offhand. I should know that, but whatever. That's very different from reading something like Harry Potter, right? Like it's a different pace. You have to have kind of a different mentality to it, and it's just a different style of reading. I'm probably getting off knee. I'm just Nietzsche. I'm just talking a little bit here at the end, just kind of mindlessly rambling, just having a talk about school and random stuff with people here. I mean, that's true, counterfeit. I have like 80 books right now checked out. I've got like 200 on my shelves over here, but I've got like 80 on this cart in the hallway, like library books checked out right now. I've had some of these books like literally for like 5 years at this university. Like you can just keep renewing them. If no one else asks for them, you can keep renewing them. And some of them are so obscure that no one has ever asked for them. Like there's one book that I got that I think has been checked out once in like 50 years or something. Sometimes people ask. I mean, what I did for improving vocabulary, I didn't do it for the SATs. I was really arrogant, and I didn't study for SATs or ACTs, and I didn't get great scores on them. I think I got a 26 on my ACT, which is like a joke by today's standards. I probably wouldn't even get into a university with that. But I studied for the GRE. I don't know. I don't have the book on me right now, but I went to a website called The Free Dictionary. I took a notebook just like this. I don't know if we have it here. Okay, just like a little dollar notebook off of Kroger. And I went here, and they used to have this sort of matching, word match game. I don't even know if geez. Like, they give you some tough words on this. Like, word match game, involution, let me see if I can do this. I'm probably going to fail. I don't even know. Jesus, this is a hard one. Okay, so these are people. Nah, I failed. I got two of them wrong. Okay, I got the people mixed up. So a horologist is a chiromancer. Okay, so anyways, so what you do is you do this game on thefreedictionary.com, and then any word that you don't recognize, you write it down. So I would do like 3 columns per page, and you just one word per line. You just go through. So I would write down pretty much all of these: involution, palmist, horologist, chatterbox, and fish gig. Write all of them down. And it tells you right here what the definition is. So act involving or complicating the state of being involved in something complicated. Okay, palmist, fortune teller, chiromancer. Okay, so I would write down palmist and chiromancer, so I wouldn't know what either one of those is. Horologist, chatterbox, and a fish gig. And then what you can do is you go to archive. And you can go back for years and years and years and years of these daily word games. And so you just go back. You can go to the 28th. It's a new game. Now we've got capricious, ad lib, hebdomadal, stolid, ho-hum. And you just do as many of these as you want to do every day. But just see if you can just play this game like 4 or 5 times every day. Keep writing down words that you don't know. And just as you're just walking around, just every now and then, just open up the book and just like look at a random word and just see if you know what it means. When you don't know what it means, just type it in the dictionary, see what it means to remind yourself. And just keep doing that. So you build up a vocabulary list by playing the games of words that you don't know that are typically pretty not common scholarly words, but they're usually pretty good words to know. Um, and then you just build up your vocab list. I think I had a notebook with like 20 or 30 pages of this. I practiced for like maybe 5 or 6 months or something ahead of time. Just kind of, just for like an hour a day or something. It wasn't very much, maybe even 30 minutes a day. And then just have your friends quiz you. Just have them look in the book and say, hey, what's this? My wife on road trips or something, every now and then, we take a break from listening to music or talking or whatever. And then I just say, okay, just quiz me for 30 minutes. Ask me some of these words. And she just asked me these words. And so just as you're going around, while you're eating something, just look at them, have a friend quiz you on it. Just whatever. But that's a good way to build up words, and a fairly fun way as far as just like trying to just learn words. That really helped me out a lot. The first time that I took the GRE, I think I got something really, I think it was like a 580 or 570. I don't remember what it was on the verbal. Then after I studied like this, then I got like a 690 or something. So I went from like the 50th percentile to like the top 96% people who did it. And a lot of it was doing this. So you can buy like expensive like vocabulary things or whatever from the GRE for like $500, but I just did this and did much better. And I did see words. Obstreperous was on there, and that was a word that I had come across. So it does help you. I mean, reading like deep literature from different historical periods is the real way to see a lot of these words and understand them. But that takes a whole lot of time that you may or may not have if you're still in school or you're working or whatever. And so I think this is a nice, like, time efficient way to try to do it. Yeah, people don't read very much, unfortunately. That's right, Girl Fire. Yeah, when you have to read so much for your classes, you don't have as much time to read anything else. Um, heh. That's right. That's right, Ethereal. I mean, they can do this type of thing too if they like this sort of game. That's right. Yeah. Well, stay safe in Houston. I know it's pretty brutal over there. Ha. Yeah, I think saving costs is good. I actually don't assign students any books in this current class because I can find all the materials that I want to use to teach them online, like free stuff. Okay, that's going to be it. Like I said, I'm super tired. I'm just going to try to release a couple of videos here and then probably go to sleep. And then I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do the viewers night. It's always a ton of fun. I think we have a couple of new viewers this week. Hopefully a lot of returning viewers, or like members rather. But yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks for coming out. Hopefully we'll keep the momentum going tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see everyone next time. Have a good night.